Hi guys, I'm Deanna with Coco's Crafty Corner, and today we are doing part 2 of the 6x6 album tutorial. In part 1, we made this base, and today we're going to decorate it and put it all together and make it super cute. And one of my subscribers pointed out that in the first part, the video was vertical. And I didn't even think about that. And I'm so thankful that they pointed that out to me. So I'm changing that today. So it's going to be horizontal and easier to see. And I do want to apologize for that again. I'm new to all of this, so I appreciate any and all feedback, advice, and suggestions. So yeah, let's decorate this album. I have cut down the decorator paper because I didn't want this video to be several hours long. And so I will give you the measurements. And we're going to start with the inside front cover. I typically do my front cover last. I set aside the papers that I want to use, and then I just do this last. I don't know why. It's just the way that I do it. And so when we assembled the album, we put this piece of 5 3/4 by 5 3/4 decorator paper down so that we were able to put the pocket down. And so on this page, I just needed a piece to cover the pocket. And this piece is 5 3/4 wide by 2 1/4 inches tall. And so this is super simple. All we have to do is glue this down. And that's not where I'm going to leave it. I will decorate it. Let me get this glued down and then I'll show you the inside cover of the Christmas album I did. And I tried to leave this with an even border all the way around. It doesn't always work like that, but I don't do perfect, so I try not to stress about it. I get it as close as I can. And that's what we came up with. Let me grab this. So this is the inside cover of the Christmas album. So we're going to do all of these add-ons afterwards because that takes some time because I'm super picky about it. And I'm going to try and fit it all in this video so that we don't have to have another video. But I guess we'll see how long this video is once I get the paper done. So then on the next page, we laid this decorator piece down as well so that we could put the belly band down. And so all I need to do is cover this belly band. And this measures, if I could turn the ruler the right way, 1 3/4 by 5 3/4. I just leave an 1/8 of an inch border all the way around. So, if your measurements aren't like mine, that's all you have to do is just, so it's like 1/4 of an inch off each side, off two sides, sorry. And then you'll get that 1/8 of an inch all the way around. But also, you don't have to do that. You can cover the whole thing. You don't have to leave a border around it if you don't want to. That's just how I've always done it, and I like that. So we glued that down. So that's it. We're going to put some photo mats and then some cutesies on the belly band. And then on the back page, because we're going to make this a layout page with these photo mats, I'm just gluing down a piece of decorator paper, and this measures 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. Because our album is, technically it's 6.5 by 6, because I wanted that 1/2 inch extra for the cinch binding. But I'm only decorating as if it were a 6 by 6. And then we just lay that down. Also, a lot of times when I'm making the album, I have so much glue. I will do this as I make the page. And then my final step is going back and putting all of the cutesy stuff in. But because I was doing a tutorial, I wanted to make sure that I didn't do that and overwhelm anyone. And so now we're creating page 2. And just to remind everyone, that's this page from the Christmas album. And we already installed our magnets, which is good. And again, I did cut the paper just to save time for this video. But I will walk you through it each step. So the first thing that I'm going to do is glue down this large piece, 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. That way it covers up these flaps that we added on. So we're going to go ahead and get this glued down. And again, I'm trying to get it even on all 4 sides. But if I don't, I don't. I used to stress about this. I'm trying not to stress about it anymore because it's not that serious. Okay, so we got that piece down. And now we have the inside flaps. What I do when I have flaps like this is I cover them with white cardstock. And that way, if someone wants to journal about their pictures or about, you know, the day of this picture, there's room for that. But also, if not, these are just photo mats. You can put a photo right over top of them. But I just like to do that because when I do my albums, I like to journal about, you know, what the picture is, the memory. And I just rounded these 2 sides so that it matches here. So the first thing that I'm going to do, let me grab my pokey tool, is take the backing off of this double-sided tape. And then I'm going to glue this mat and we are just going to eyeball this and then press it down. And I'm going to use my rag in case there's any glue seepage so that it can catch that. But you want to go over where that magnet is pretty good, just so that the paper sticks. You don't want that glue popping up, or that paper popping up if the glue doesn't adhere. And so that's all we do for that side. And then we're going to do the same thing over here on this side. Let me just put that right there. I'm going to go ahead and round these two corners so they match the flap. And I'm just using, again, the 1/4 inch side of my corner rounder. And then I'm going to add glue. And we are going to eyeball this one as well. And we're going to varnish this down. All right, and then we're going to fold this one over so we can decorate the outside flap. And again, I have my paper cut. Let me measure this one. And it will also be the measurement for the inside. Sorry, I forgot about that. So this measures 4 3/4 wide and 5 3/4 tall. And that's the same measurement as this white cardstock on the inside. And again, I'm going to round my corners so that it matches the black cardstock. And I'm going to peel off this score tape backing. And then we will add some glue. This is my least favorite Halloween paper pack that I'm smashing this month. I like it. I just don't, it's not my favorite. And then we're going to eyeball this again. And varnish this down. And again, we want to make sure that near the magnet, we're pressing down and making sure that that glue is adhering. We do have the score tape, which is going to hold the paper over that magnet. I just like to make sure that it's varnished really good around the magnet so that it doesn't later come up. I'm also going to grab a Tic Tac. So we have that piece. This whole flap is covered. I have little fuzzy papers from that corner jumper. All right, and now we're going to do the outside flap of this one. And this is one of the 3x4 cut aparts. So this white cardstock also measures 3x4. And I'm going to round the corners again. And we're going to glue this one down. It is really handy having all of the paper pre-cut. And it does save a lot of time. Because I don't usually do that. Again, I'm going to eyeball this one and just make sure this one is all pressed down. All right. So then there is our flap. It opens up. If I could get a hold of the paper. And did you hear that? The magnet sticks good. So now we're going to go on to the back page. And again, this is just going to be a layout page. And so this sheet is also 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. And we're just going to glue that down. And we'll make it all cute when we go back and put in the photo mats and the decorations. like I did in the Christmas album, I'm not going to glue the photo mats on every single layout page. I will include them in the pocket next to it because, you know, whoever gets this album may not want to use those photo mats because you could very easily take a 4x6 photo, because remember, this measures 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. So you could take a 4x6 and cut an 1/8 of an inch strip off each end, and it will fit on here. So I like to leave that option for people. All right, and so the next page that we are going to decorate is this corner. Well, not really corner, this slanted pocket page. And again on this one, we had already put this page down to do our pocket. Now, I'm going to tell you, cutting the decorator paper for this pocket was a little tricky for me. Trying to get the angle perfect and then the trim the same on all 4 sides. It turned out okay, so I'm going with it. So I started with a piece that was 5 3/4. And then the tallest point, let me get this, is 3 1/2. And then I cut it at an angle. So we're going to go ahead and glue this down. See, I have a little more border than I normally would like, but that's okay. I'm going to fix it with the ephemera and the tags that I add, and it will be just fine. And you don't even have to do a slanted pocket. If you don't like that, if that's not how you would choose to do it, just know that you could do whatever kind of pocket you want. You can just do a bottom pocket or a side pocket or another belly band. Like, you can do whatever you want. This is just what I'm doing for this album because I wanted to just duplicate the Christmas album since that's the one that someone asked about. So you can make whatever kind of pocket you want, or don't even have pockets. It's totally up to you. And then again, the back side, we're just going to flip this over. And this is the page from the Christmas book. So we're going to go ahead and just glue down this 5 3/4 by 5 3/4 decorator paper. And I'm using the left side and the top and the bottom as my guide. All right, so that page is done. And now we're moving on to the waterfall page. So I'm going to start by opening all of these, and I'm going to lay down this large mat on the bottom. And let me measure this. So this is 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. And when we're laying this down, the one thing we want to be careful of because I want to leave a 1/2 inch over here. So I want to make sure that I do not cross this score line from this bottom waterfall page. So we're going to go ahead and put some glue down. Oh, I need to remove my backer. Was anyone mentioning that while I was getting this ready? And we're going to make sure that we don't cross that score line. And get that placed down. And then I'm going to use my rag just to get the glue. And go over where that magnet is. Just to make sure that that is all varnished down really good. All right. And now on this sheet, I'm going to remove these paper clips. Just because it'll be easier to lay this flat. So this inside flap of the first one measures 3 3/4 inches wide and 5 3/4 inches tall. And I need to round these two corners to match the black cardstock. And I probably did not do that in camera. Sorry, guys. And then we're just going to eyeball this one. Varnish that down really good. And then this one, wait, what is it supposed to be, this one? Oh, it is. Okay. That goes there. So again, this piece measures 3 3/4 inches wide by 5 3/4 inches tall. We're gonna round the corners. I should have done that before the video. I honestly just didn't even think about it. Normally when I'm making these albums, I have TV or music on in the background, so it's weird to me that there's no noise and that I'm supposed to be talking. So I need to get better at that. All right. And we're just going to do that with all 3 of these waterfall pieces. This one measures 3 1/4 by 5 3/4. And I'm just going to flip this because the paper clip left a mark there. Again, I don't normally paper clip my stuff, but it's not a big deal. We'll just flip the paper over. I actually have to get this done because I need to be working on a birthday banner for my grandson. He is turning 5 on Saturday, which I can't even believe. I can't even believe he is turning 5. This piece is also 3 1/4 by 5 3/4, and I'm just going to round the corners and glue it down. And he's starting school. It's insane. It's insane. If you've watched some of my very first videos, we lost Tyler, my youngest son, in 2020, and we're all very devastated. We're all still very devastated. So when Mandy announced that she was pregnant and when she had Teddy, he essentially became my reason to breathe, you know, during my grief. And so I can't believe that he's turning 5 and then he's starting kindergarten. It's so crazy to me. I'm going to peel this backer off, and then I'm going to go ahead and round the corners. This piece measures 2 3/4 by 5 3/4. And again, I'm using the white cardstock on the inside in case whoever gets it wants to use it for journaling. If not, it's just a white photo mat and it works just fine. So I have to paint his birthday banner for this weekend. Last year it was Paw Patrol. This year, the theme of his party are his 5 favorite things. Now, mind you, he's 5. So his 5 favorite things. This piece measures the same. I'm just putting it on the outside. I'm going to round the corners. His 5 favorite things are Paw Patrol, Bat Wheels, which is new, garlic salt. It's so crazy. I know this kid loves garlic salt, so it's one of his favorite things. Pikachu, and his 5th favorite thing, not in that order, that's not what that means, but is his family. He literally is the sweetest soul. He's so much like my Tyler. He has the biggest heart. And so I have to paint his birthday banner and put all of his favorite things on it. So, I really need to get started on that. It's coming so fast. I wasn't ready for it. So that's what I'm going to be working on once I get this video done for this album. And I was concerned about these pieces sticking, but they do. The magnet works fine through all of this paper. So now we just need to flip this over and do the, excuse me, the layout page, which I think I cut this wrong. Let me measure this because this doesn't feel right. And it's not right. This is 6 1/4 inch wide. It needs to be 5 3/4. So I did mess that up when I was cutting, but that's all right because we get to fix it right now. So now it's right. It's 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. And we're going to just go ahead and glue this down. So yeah, we're having a big 5th birthday party for him on Saturday. And He's starting school on the 24th. All right, I'm just gonna make sure this is varnished down real good. This page is thick because of that waterfall. But when I do albums that are only 4 or 5 pages, I like to add as much room as I possibly can for photos. All right, so that page is done. And let's see what so we just did this one. So now we're working on this one. And we did the decorator paper under the pocket when we created the album. And now we're just going to cover the pocket. This was a cut apart sheet. This pack came with 2 of each cut apart sheet. So one of them, I'm just using the decorative side on the back because otherwise there's not enough paper, which is part of the reason this is not my favorite. All right, so we got that glued down. And again, we'll add all the cutesies after. And then the back side is just going to be a sheet of decorative paper. This is not my favorite. However, I have this one in so many places throughout the album that because there's limited designs, I have to go with this. But it is not my favorite. But that's all right, because I'm going to put photo mats and ephemera down. All right. We're moving right along. This isn't going too bad. As I mentioned in my other video, I always worry about these videos being too long because I feel like people don't really want to watch long videos. But it's hard to do a tutorial video quickly. At least for me. Maybe I'll get better at that. All right, so that page is done. And now we are working on the inside of the back cover. And we had already, again, done the decorator paper. That way we could put the pocket down. So, and I keep forgetting to give you guys measurements. I'm so sorry. Again, I'm only leaving an 1/8 of an inch border all the way around. So this measures 5 3/4 by 2 1/8. Why is this at 2 1/8? I think because I was using a piece that I had already cut. It's fine. We're not going to stress about it. I'm going to decorate it anyway. And you don't have to do that. Again, you don't have to leave a border if you don't want to. Or if you want a bigger border. You know, if you want a 1/4 inch all the way around. If you want more of the black to show through, like, again. It's the beauty of crafting is we can do whatever we want. All right. So we have that done. And now this is the page for the back cover. Oh, I like this one so much better, but I've used it, I think, twice already. But I use this one too. I'm just, you know what? I'm changing it. I'm using this side. I like the pumpkins better. So that's what we're going to do. It's the back cover anyway. And typically on the back, all I usually do is put my logo on there. So let me try and get this pretty centered. Normally my head is right over top of my project, and I can't do that because of the camera. So that's another learning curve for me. I like to have my face all up in my project. And then I'm just going to glue down, while I'm right here, I'm going to glue down one of my logo stickers. These are my regular logo stickers. But I decided to do some seasonal ones as well. And so I made these little Halloween ones. And because I ran out of sticker paper, I'm just going to glue this down. And we're going to do it at the top this time. Usually I do it at the bottom, but we're just changing everything up today. All right, so, we have the front. Look, I'm getting ahead of myself. So now all of our pages are done. We'll go ahead and do the front cover. And then I'm going to try and hurry this along so that we can do the stickers and ephemera and the photo mats as well without doing a whole other video. So this is the piece for the front cover that measures 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. We'll just glue this down. Sometimes I do really intricate album covers. Like, I put a lot of time and use a lot of stuff to decorate with. And sometimes, like in my Christmas album, I keep them simple. But like the ones that I make for my kids, they are way more detailed. And I make some like that I put in my shop as well. But with the time crunch that I'm on right now for my August festival and then my Halloween festival, I'm taking a 3x4 cut apart, and I just am matting it on a piece of black cardstock that measures 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. So I'm going to glue this cut apart to that piece of cardstock. And that's because I just wanted the black trim to make it pop off the cover. When I do albums with spines, I make closures for them. But because this is a cinch album, I'm not making a closure for it because it doesn't need it like the spine albums do. All right. Now I just need to decide if I want this to be more towards the top, in the center, or over to the side. What do you guys think? I wish you could tell me. But I just need to decide because otherwise I'll spend an hour just designing the cover. I'm going to do it up in the center. I'm just going to do it. And we're going to glue this down. And make sure that's varnished down really, really well. use the rag first to get up the glue, and then I'm gonna use my bone folder. And there, that is stuck down. I need to do more to this, I can tell you right now. I left my Christmas one really, really simple. And that's okay. Like, I like doing that sometimes too. But I feel like this is gonna need something. I have a couple of bows. I don't really love that either. I don't love that. All right. For now, I'm going to leave it. I'm just going to leave it. And now I'm going to get the sticker sheet. My dilemma was I did not get the ephemera pack for this kit. Now, the ephemera pack comes in handy for things like these little tuck spots on the pockets. This one, because when you have the ephemera, you just have to glue down the 3 sides, and then you have a little pocket for your tag. So I don't have ephemera for this pack. So what I'm going to have to do is choose the sticker that I want to use and then stick it onto cardstock, cut it out so that I can use it for a pocket. So that's what I'm going to start doing. Let's see, it's been 42 minutes. Let me do 2 of these on camera, and then the rest I will do off camera, and then I will come back and show you, because I just don't want it to be super long. And so for this pocket, I'm going to take this sticker, and I'm just going to get a scrap piece of cardstock. And then I'm going to place the sticker down. I'm not a great fussy cutter, okay? Like, I'm not ashamed to admit that. But we are going to try and leave a border. I just don't know if it's going to work. It may be all wonky. It's already not the same width all the way around. I'm just not great at it, y'all. I mean, I could be if I, really took my time. It's okay. Good enough. No one's going to notice. And so I think I'm going to put this in the middle. And I'm just going to make it a little tuck spot so that I can put a tag in there. My glue is... The good news is I've already covered the whole album with decorator paper. So if nobody wants to stay for this, they don't have to. That way I don't have to stress about how long it's taking. All right, we are just going to put this down right here. Make sure that is straight. Somewhat straight. I'm going to varnish that down really good. And then let's open this up and see what I did. I did a full-size photo mat. Okay. So, I cut out some photo mats. The black cardstock measures 5 1/4 by 5 1/4. And then I am going to, for my photo mats, put a sheet of white cardstock on both sides. And this measures 5 by 5. And so, you know what? I will round the corners. I was like, I'm not going to worry about rounding the corners. I don't need to, but I just like doing it. So I'm just going to do it. So we're going to round all 4 corners on the black cardstock and then do the same with both pieces of the white cardstock. I just like to include these in all of the pockets and tuck spots so whoever gets the album has extra room for photos. You don't have to use them. You could just, let me get this glued down and then I'll show you. You could just glue a photo right here and then stick some in the pocket if you wanted. I just like adding the photo mats. It's a nice extra touch. And I made all of the photo mats for this album, these ones, the same size for the pockets and the belly bands. Okay, so then we just stick this right in this pocket. And now this is dried. So I pre-cut some tags. I did 4 based off my Christmas album. These measured 2.5 inches wide by 4 1/4 inches tall. And then I used my tag punch, which is seen better days. And just cut this out. And so I'm going to use some ribbon. I have some ribbon and seam binding over here for my tags. Because my seam binding stash is so low, I need to place another order. And I get my seam binding at my scrap cabin. Is that right? Yeah. Off of Etsy. I tried a bunch of places. I tried Amazon and some other places, but my scrap cabin has the nicest quality seam binding I've found so far. And then I'm just gonna singe the ends of this ribbon so that it doesn't pull up. The thing about ribbon is it's hard for me to get it really tight because I don't want to rip the paper. That's why I prefer seam binding. Uh-oh. Why did that? My glue seeped. Oh no. That's okay. That's all right. Oh, we need to put a sticker on the album. Or on the tag, y'all. So let me see. I just want to pop something. You could also decorate these with decorator paper, which I did with some of them. Actually, one of them. But I also like to just use stickers. Because if someone doesn't want to use it in this album, say they want to use it in their journal or something, I want to leave it kind of sort of, not plain, that's not the right word because I'm putting a sticker on it, but you know what I mean. Okay, so let's pick out a sticker. Will the trick or treat one fit? Oh, it will. We're just going to put that on there. And you know what I'm going to do? I do this sometimes. You don't have to do this. Again, it's just my brain. Like, I need things to be neat. So, let me grab my stapler. And I only have my big long one here. I'm going to put the cover in my glue because that's going to dry out again. And I'm just going to staple this because it lays flatter and looks neater. And that's just, now I need to trim these again and singe them again. I told y'all, crafting with me is crazy. And then we're just going to stick that right there. Oh, and I want a sticker. I definitely had some glue seep out. Is my glue eraser handy? It is. It's right here. Just going to try and get that off there because I don't love that. All right, let's pick one more sticker. I think I'm just gonna use this little one that says Eek. Just to have something here. And so, oh, I don't know, y'all. Okay. We're gonna call that good. And typically on the belly bands, I like to just put a sticker or a piece of ephemera because this too is gonna get a photo mat. I will glue it down just like I did the first one, just trying to save time. So this will have a photo mat behind it. And we just need a sticker. And I'm going to go with this one because it's white and orange. And I just feel like that's what this space needs. It says, "Too cute to spook." And so I'll glue the white cardstock down on both sides. And then this page will be done. But real quick, I want to do a layout page with you. And then I'm going to do the rest off camera. And then I will come back and do a walkthrough. Because I feel like it's just going to take so much time. So I am going to do one layout page. So we have those. I'm going to go ahead and glue these down like this. You could also do them like this. Oh, I think I'm going to do it this way. Now, I do want to point out, I'm going to glue this one all the way down. I'm going to glue this one down on all four sides. So we're just going to place that like that. Now, when I glue this one down, because I want it to have a border, this area right here, I'm not going to put any glue. So I'm just going to hold my fingers there so I know not to glue there. I'm going to put glue all around it. And then I'm going to make sure that I have a nice border and varnish this down. Now, the reason that I did that is I want the photo that goes on here, however someone wants to put it on, even if they just put it in this little square, like this part, it can slide under this tab. And it's not going to make this photo need to be cut down anymore. So that's the only reason that I do that. All right, so now we have these two spaces. I definitely want to put something here if I can find a sticker that will fit. Again, this is why it's nice to have the ephemera packs. I wonder if this cat will fit there. Oh, yes. We are going to put this cat down. This is super cute. And then I also noticed that I have some really small word stickers that I'm going to put down here on the little empty space, just because I think that is super cute. And so that's how I do the layout pages that I add the photo mats to. When we do the walkthrough, once I have this all finished, I'll show you what I do with these when I don't glue them down. And you don't even have to have these. You could just put plain photo mats in. I just have this stamp, so I use it. It's not a requirement. So that's where we are. Like I said, I'm going to decorate the rest off camera because we're already almost at an hour. And then I will come back and do a final walkthrough of the whole video and of the whole album and show you everything that I added. So once I get that done, we'll come back. Okay, guys, I'm back. I got it all decorated and put together. I realized after I cinched it that I probably should have done that on camera, but I will do a video, just a short little video on how I cinch my albums together, just in case anyone wants to see it. I added some stickers to the cover. I just felt like it needed a little more. And so I just decided to make it busy, which I don't do a ton on my album covers, but, I just, I'm using what I have. And so here is the inside, which we did together with my little tag in this tuck spot and the photo mat. And then the photo mat for the belly band. I did add a couple of other small stickers to that, just to use them up. And then this is the layout page that we did together. I just came back and added this jack-o'-lantern sticker. And then I didn't do anything here. I like to leave this just empty for them, whoever purchases it. If they want to journal, I want to leave them all the room to journal or to put photos. On this page, I did not add these photo mats. I didn't glue them down. Oh, there should only be 2 in there. But I did put them in the pocket in case the recipient wants to use them. And then I just added this cute little trick or treat sticker right here. And the large photo mat is in there. I put this sticker on a piece of cardstock and then cut it out and used it as a tuck spot for my tag. And then this is the layout page that I did over here. I really like having these little word stickers to put on these photo mats. I think they're so cute. And the thing is, if the recipient still wants to cover it up, cover the whole thing instead of just this. Let me measure that real quick. So the inside is 2 3/8 by 2 1/8. That's this little box that says place photo here. The mat itself with the outline and everything is 2 3/4 by 3 1/8, the way that I cut this down. So you do have the option of just placing a photo over this whole spot, or cutting them down and using this like a Polaroid frame, which is why I put the words in here. Again, that's up to the recipient. I did add a sticker on the front of here, which I did not do in my Christmas album because I wanted to leave all of the space for photos. But as I mentioned, this is not my favorite paper pack, and so I needed something to just jazz it up a little bit. And then that's all I've done on this page. This layout page, again, I just added a sticker at the bottom and included these in case the recipient wants to use them. And then I did place a large double-sided photo mat in this pocket. And we're just going to put these back in there. And this was another sticker that I added to cardstock and just glued the bottom of to have a tuck spot for this cute little tag. And then this is the third page, or the third layout that I created. And again, this is open so that you can glue a picture down. It won't interrupt with this photo mat at all. And then again, a sticker on cardstock for a tuck spot for my tag. And that is the album, guys. That is the whole entire album. I used 1 inch, I believe these are 1 inch, cinch rings because this is bulky. And when we add photos, it's going to get even bulkier. And so I wanted it to have enough room to grow. So, yeah, what do you guys think? I think it turned out super cute. I'm excited to take this to my Halloween market. And I hope that you enjoyed the decorating process with me. Like I said in my first video, if y'all make one of these, will you please comment a picture down below so that I can see how it turned out? I had a lot of fun doing this with y'all. I will definitely do another or do some more tutorial videos on how that I make my items. And if you would, please like the video. If you're not yet subscribed to my channel and you like what you saw, would you subscribe? And as always, I love the comments. Please comment and let me know what you think. And if you have any suggestions, anything, I would love to hear from y'all. And I hope that you all have a great week. I'm going to spend the next few days on day trips with my grandbabies. And then, as I mentioned earlier, we have Teddy's 5th birthday party on Saturday. And I may post a little video from that. We'll just see how it goes. But anyway, I hope you all have a great week. Thanks again so much, and I'll see you next time.